Okay. Um, Trying to be brief with the explanation for this project. Basically, I want you to find something that is non digital, a medium that is not digital, something that is not your phone, something that is not your computer, something that is not your television, something that is not hooked up to the internet, something that is not digital. So, this is the non digital experience project explanation. Uh, Basically, the idea behind this project, this was originally a project that helped gear us towards a more profound understanding of the medium and the characteristics of the medium, which is specific to my research. Um, but I also think it's beneficial to you. So, for example, in the past, and this is not something I'm advising you to do, obviously, because you probably have a hard time finding a movie theater that's open. But um, one that is very common with my students in a pre-COVID-19 kind of landscape is going to a cinema. Now, I think now might be an interesting time to maybe attend a drive-in movie if you can find one. I know in Pennsylvania, um, when my wife was living there, we were able to go attend a drive-in movie, but that's like 2.5 hours away in like the Harrisburg area. Um, there might be a drive-in theater around here. You can do that. But if you do something like that, so in the cinema, people would pay attention to the people around them, laughing at the jokes in unison. They would focus on the sticky floors. They would focus on the uncomfortable seats, the feeling of the vibration from the bass. All of these things would encompass what I'm looking for from the non digital experience. So instead of you writing what you thought of the movie, I want you to write about how you experienced the movie. What were some things that had nothing to do with the content of the movie, but everything to do with the medium of the movie? So, another example, you could read a book. You could go to your bookshelf and pull out a book and read it. I'm not asking you to read a whole book for this project. I'm asking you to sit and experience that book, okay? And tell me what that experience was like. I want you to make a concerted effort. So at least put in like an hour into reading and tell me what it was like. Tell me what it was like to disconnect from your digital platform. Some of you may read all of your books on a Kindle. So this is an opportunity for you to select a book or a magazine. You can go buy a newspaper and sit there and read the newspaper from front to back. Tell me what that experience was like. What is it like to sit there with a sheet, a newspaper the size of a bed sheet, at your table, at your chair, and be covered by that thing, right? I want to know what your experience of non-digital experience was like. I want you to meditate and reflect on the characteristics of the medium. Okay, so we will talk about the medium um, this semester a little bit more, but I want you to start thinking about this project now. So it looks like the non-digital experience um, is due the week of July 6th. So you have 2 weeks to do this. So um, typically I give my students a little bit more time because I, want them to go out and find this stuff, but you don't have to go out and find this stuff. You can find non-digital experiences in your own home. Um, a newspaper, a magazine. There's many magazines that get mailed to your house. I live in Mount Olive. There's some some paper that just talks about chiropractic. There's articles, info, native advertising articles in the paper that they have little puff piece stories about. We love our local EMS. We love the local high school students or whatever it is. It gets shipped to my mailbox, and I read through it. I look through it. There's a lot of advertising in it. There's a lot of local restaurants, things of that nature. You can read through that. That's a non-digital experience. Okay. Um, your father or mother or your aunt or your uncle may have a record player. You can play a record. You can play a cassette. Okay. You can read a comic book, but it should be non-digital. Okay. That's the project. And then I want you to reflect on that. It was a one-page write-up. reflecting on the experience of consuming a non-digital artifact. Okay, so I had somebody do a project which was an interesting interpretation, but not what I was looking for. He went to a park. Okay, that's not really what I'm looking for. So the non-digital experience should be some medium that you find somewhere. Many of your homes have these already, um, and just tell me what that experience was like. Tell me what the characteristics are. How did the pages of the book smell? Things of that nature. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Don't focus on the content. Focus on the characteristics of the medium.